Welcome to Quill Sword Blogcast. Don't Become the Monster, U.S. Edition. The Biden administration is a train wreck. Get out of its way. And that doesn't mean stay silent or even to never criticize. After all, we'd like this particular train wreck to do as little damage as possible. No, it's a cautionary statement to not become the distraction from just how bad the Biden administration is all by its little self. Think first, argue later. This little gem is something the Democrats no longer do, and that lack has cost them dearly. Don't think it can't cost us because it most certainly can. I know, it's beyond frustrating. But the object of this game is to regain control of our government and to make it better, not to relieve our frustration. To borrow from the civil rights movement, keep your eyes on the prize. One thing at a time. Nation states can walk, chew gum, and knit all at the same time. Political movements cannot. The more a movement diversifies, the more it waters down its impact. So when prominent conservatives decide to have very public disputes, ignore them. Humans make all sorts of stupid mistakes, but our job is to get this government back under control. Plenty of time to sort out our dirty laundry after we get this runaway stopped. Don't get suckered into debating stupid stuff. Pick a lane and stay in it. In my opinion, election integrity has to take top priority for the movement side of things because we can't have any more inconsistencies. We don't need to cheat, but we do need to make sure that no one else is cheating. Congress needs to be about the business of investigations. That means that we as citizens do have to keep an eye on out and make sure that those lazy congressmen don't get off track. You know how kids are? Congress is worse. Can't take your eyes off them for a second. But they don't need a nanny, just a sharp eye out. Our job is to herd cats, and we have plenty of cat food for the job. Herding cats is easy as long as they understand what the sound of a can opener means. Congressmen are the same, except that we use social media and email. Life doesn't afford us the luxury of being fully single-minded. That's okay. We can still keep our eyes on the goal and work towards it. This isn't the first time our little government has strayed, and it won't be the last. Don't bother about whether or not we're at a unique place in history. All places in history are unique. It's only in hindsight that we will know how uniquely dangerous this was. It's enough that we understand that our government needs to be shooed in and put back in its carrier. Stay on point. So why the title about not becoming the monster? The biggest threat to reaching a goal is the last 5 yards, and we're only 2 yards from a touchdown. Worse, we know how many plays we've screwed up in the last half of this game, and it's really hard not to smack our own defensive line for that one boneheaded play. The end zone is 2 yards away, and we're already fighting each other as much as the other team. Just like the other team did for the entire first half. The other team has pulled more than its share of dirty tricks. But if they can get us to do the same, that ref that keeps turning a blind eye to their shenanigans, looking at you, lamestream media, will blow the whistle on us. We can fight all we want in the locker room after the game. We can even fantasize about all the dirty tricks we could have pulled once the game is over. But right now, we have 2 yards to go and 20 seconds on the clock. Time to play football like we were in one of those movies. You know, the great movies where athletes aren't jackass prima donnas, but real people and are real sportsmen. The movies where the underdog wins because he played with his heart out and won fair and square. Because if we can't be those guys, why are we even bothering to play in the first place? If we're going to lie, cheat, and steal, what exactly do we bring to the table that's worth bringing? If we're not the better option, why are we doing this? Obviously, I believe that conservatives overall have the best worldview from which to govern, even if we don't all agree on all the specifics. But being corrupt is never ever best. Expedient perhaps, but never best. Every corrupt act has downstream effects and do eventually come back to bite. Having the best solutions is worthless if we corrupt them along with ourselves. So don't. Don't play the game the way the other team does. Play the game the way it should be played. Don't turn a blind eye to the bad acts of your teammates. And don't turn a blind eye to the good for nothing ref either. Even the ref can be called to account if you do it the right way. Tackling him only feels good for a moment, but it costs us the game. Filing a complaint the next day isn't nearly as satisfying, but it gets the game reversed and him fired. No, it's not a perfect world. No, we are not perfect people. But we are human. We have the capacity to strive for perfection. Christians would tell you it's the image of God within us. We cannot just try, but be better. We can get the ball into the end zone. 2 yards to go. Eyes front, people.